Cool.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Thinking Out Loud.
Yes, welcome back, everybody. Today is January 5th, 6th. What is today?
January.
No, it's fucking November already. Damn,
yeah, it's November.
It was literally August just yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you, Nick, for the intro.
It feels like August because we've just been like kind of.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
Like sporadically.
Yeah.
Kind of just like jumping in and out of the of this cesspool of ideas that we talk about every other week or so. We know we haven't been on a regular schedule, but that's because if you know anything about being human, is that
we have a life,
and we need a fucking mental break. Like y'all, like really exhaust us. Like
it's stressful to come here and just talk about whatever the fuck we want. You know how stressful that is?
Yeah, and the studio was shut down, so we had to wait. They had a pest control issue. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah.
Apparently,
David brought roaches.
I brought roaches. People been smoking weed in here. It's like it's really ruining the facade that we are the most successful show that you watch. Well, really though, it's good to be back.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
I like taking a break and then coming back refreshed. It feels like, when you come back after a long vacation.
Yeah, I was going to say, you come back after a long vacation and you're looking forward to meeting your home.
Yeah, just
meeting your home, going home, and just, first thing, quick tip for everyone. When you get home from vacation, the first thing you should do is wash your clothes because you don't know what you brought back.
You know what? That is so funny.
This is so big because bed bugs are so, like, once they're in your house, you're not getting them out.
Yo, Nick has, like, the biggest fear of any kind of pests. I love it.
Oh, my God. Hell yeah.
Because
I'm a very clean dude. You don't see this skin? This right here?
I know. It's hilarious.
This is work.
He hates pests. I wish I had his sense of like mindfulness for pets. Pests.
Yeah, fuck that.
I'm not saying I like pests, but fuck his ability to spot pests or feel like he's being attacked by pests is hilarious.
Fuck you.
No, I love it though. I love it because we were outside and he was like getting bit by all these mosquitoes. And we come in and he's all like, "Dude, I think I got fucking mites on the couch." I'm like, no, relax. It's just
but you know how it goes when you have the goosebumps and you feel paranoia. Something on you, the paranoia. But also, what he's referring to that day, what we encountered was some weird shit. Like that box was so dirty and that area in the other room. Remember?
Oh, right.
I was freaking the fuck out.
We were in a different part of the studio and the it's like a delivery room or mail room?
Yeah, mail room.
The mail room is full of pests.
It was actually disgusting.
Like someone left a banana somewhere in there, and it's bad. It's real bad.
And what pissed me off even more is, well, one, I don't think they brought an exterminator. And then two,
it's still going on. I'm sure.
The maintenance people just like painted over the area that was basically more than likely eaten out by what I believe was termites. I believe it was termites.
I love that you think everything is termites. I wanted to real quick jump right in to. You know how I never
wait real quick. Speaking of pests, if you haven't seen Dune, go watch Dune.
Oh, don't talk to me about it. I want to go watch it in IMAX. So.
We didn't watch it together?
No, you said you watched it with your brother.
I thought I watched it with you.
No, it's all right. I mean, I can wait. I was supposed to go watch it with
someone else. We just saw Eternals. That was pretty good. We saw
Eternals, yeah. We could talk about that a little bit, actually.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll go first. I'll be honest. I thought it was okay. I gave it a 5 out of 10. And on my scale, a 5 is average. And I'm not a fucking professional filmmaker or whatever, so for me to criticize a film by an Oscar-winning director, you can take that with a grain of salt. Because, I mean, I haven't even seen her previous movies. Chloe Zhao, I know she's a woman of color, and she's an Asian woman. I think she's Japanese.
I was gonna say
Chinese.
Well, that was just gonna.
Oh no, I think she's Chinese.
Yeah.
Anyways, the Eternals movie is that new Marvel movie. They want me to open the door or something?
I don't know.
Should I go open it?
It's your call?
No.
No, we reserve this place.
Yeah, we reserve this place. I'm not going to open the door. Fuck. I wish I was hiding because I didn't want them to. Do you want to open the door? This motherfucker wants me to open the door.
Just inform them we reserved it. No, kidding. Hello. No, no worries. Okay.
We're just gonna pick it up from right there. I don't care.
Yeah, we kind of. So that's hilarious because imagine you would have said like it's reserved and he would have been right there like you did reserve shit.
God, let's just give these people a quick story. We'll come back to the Eternals. It's like we reserved the studio, but for the past 3-4 weeks, if you've seen, our last episode was on the couch. And we've had a couple couch episodes already.
Yeah, we're the new casting couch.
We're the new. It's like what the fuck? Like, okay, so Nick, me and Nick have been talking about this. I hope they're not being able to hear us with the cameras and shit.
I feel like they can hear the audio.
No,
I'm not even gonna lie to you, but
they better not be able to hear.
I don't really care
like,
whether they do or not.
For the past month and a half, I think almost 2 months now. 2 months. Whenever even before that previous couch episode, we had already had troubles trying to get in here. They've got an electronic system that unlocks the doors, right? A fob. I don't even know what FOB stands for.
Yeah,
but it's a fob, whatever.
Don't know. Let me look this up. Go ahead.
You touch the thingy to the thing, and then the thing goes beep, 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 or zzz, and then it opens. And it's like, it doesn't do that. There's 2 doors, one way into the outdoor, and then one through the corridor.
No, negative. It's been doing that. It's actually made the sound. The problem is, for whatever reason, I guess the actual electronic thing that turns the lock,
yes,
or whatever,
isn't. Whatever.
Yeah, it's not fully working. So when you pull the door, nothing happens. And I've complained about this multiple times. And so today I told David, I said, this is my last straw, because when he arrived to the studio, we actually went to the store to go grab something to drink.
Oh, to go and come back, yeah.
This is why I got my Dunkin' Donuts right here. But as we were leaving, we saw the building manager and we asked him, hey, is the studio door fixed? And he assured me, he said, yeah, but I also kind of knew that he was a little iffy on it because of the way that he gave me his body language. Like, he was like, yeah, for sure it is. And I was like, okay, cool. So right when we came back, we went to the studio, and sure enough, the doors were still not working. So I said, yeah, today's my final straw. I'm going to take pictures of this because, one, I've called and complained, and I'm by no means a Karen. By no means. I mean, I might have little moments of it.
It's acceptable.
But I'm not the person that sends food back at a restaurant. That's not who I am. But this time I said, it's been 4 weeks. Let's get this fixed. This is ridiculous. So I took pictures of the door because it also has a physical key that you can open the door with. What is it called? Key?
Just a keyhole.
Yeah, keyhole. There you go, keyhole. That you can use for a physical key to open the door. And I was going to write a whole email. I was going to CC the 2 building managers. I was going to CC their bosses. And I was just going to say, what the fuck, basically. I was going to say, this is an amenity that I pay for in my rent, and this should be fixed because I've called and complained about this for
months, almost.
Yeah, it feels about 2 months at this current moment.
And, you never want to see Nick in full.
Yeah, my full Karen mode is I have a very angry walk. I already have a RBF, so just imagine my walk at that moment.
You will change your mind because he may not be the one to send things back, but in a certain situation, he'll send everything back. We'll just get up and leave the restaurant.
This is why I can't have a mail order bride, because if I'm not happy with her, I'm sending her back.
Yeah, I believe that. For me, I'm a yes dude. I have a hard time saying no, but when I do say no, I do mean it, because I will send something back if I really do not want it, because there have been times where I will receive something and I just can't send it back, because I feel like it's not in me. But oh my God, let me tell you, I ordered a drink not so long ago. It was called The Godfather. I think I told the story already. I fucking ordered something called The Godfather. You would think something called The Godfather would be like this really nice grown-up drink, the waiter comes by to the table and he's giving everybody their drinks. And he puts in front of me this large fucking blue fish bowl. I'm like, what is this? He's like, that's The Godfather. I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is more like the Kool-Aid Man. The fuck, like I don't. I saw The Godfather. This is not what it looks like. It's like a drink, right? It was just a fucking tequila. The fucking Godfather. The description made it sound way more exquisite than it looked. I was like, this is dumb. I tried it. I told the guy, I was like, this is not what I ordered. He's like, yes, it is. I'm like, this is The Godfather. I'm like, no. This is
Oh
not.
shit,
Dude, and I was
you said no. Like
I did say
I'm good on this.
And you know, sometimes, you know, you're in front of your friends and you kind of like want to show off and be like, you know, you're a little tough. I was not trying to show off. I was genuinely trying to have a good time. And I've been cutting back on my sugar, to be honest with you, because like I realize how easy.
You get fat.
Super easy.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, you're not wrong. There's a huge epidemic.
No, but also when you cut down on sugar, you just feel a lot more lively.
So much better. Yeah, sugar is so bad for you, relatively speaking.
As I'm sitting here drinking
How many? I got 11 in here.
39 grams
Holy
of sugar.
shit.
That is so much.
39.
That's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. Yeah. Jesus Christ, that's like a lot. And let me tell you, that's enough to kill somebody if they were a diabetic. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
Enough to kill them. So I fucking sent it back, and I just, no shame. I wasn't even trying to be cool about it. Like, I genuinely did not want to drink it because, like, it tasted like a fucking, it was like a kid's drink, you know? It was a fucking kid's drink with alcohol in it. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, that's like, yeah, whatever. But back to Eternals. So,
yeah.
Go ahead, tell me what you liked about it. Tell me what you thought, and, you know.
I think everyone.
Start from the beginning if you want.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was.
Spoiler alert, by the way. Sorry, just in case if you haven't seen it.
No, I'm not gonna speak
you can
about
spoil it if you want.
spoilers. No, I just think the overall concept of Eternals was very well written. I really like the homage that they pay to history when they, you know, go through the different periods of time, because they're Eternals. They've been around forever, essentially, and
forever since the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, since the beginning, and then. I guess I'll spoil a little bit. Spoiler alert. The way that it ended, I thought it was a cherry on top. Like, it was just perfect. It set up a whole nother part. You know what I mean?
Right. So I liked that they had a sex scene in it.
I also like that they have Kit Harington in the movie, who I think is just a phenomenal actor.
Yeah, Kit Harington and his brother in the show Game of Thrones. What's his name? The guy who dies at the Red Wedding.
Rob Stark.
Rob Stark is in this movie.
Yeah.
And Kit Harington, his show brother.
Oh shit, was that Rob Stark?
Right, that's why when in the theater when I was going like this and I was like gushing out.
Shit, that makes so much sense.
If you're a Game of Thrones guy, after the first season, they never saw each other again. He dies. He dies and spoiler alert, Red Wedding. He dies and he fucking in this movie they're like it's funny because they both are into the same girl. He was dating her for 5,000 years. Not Kit Harington. Rob Stark was dating his girl in the movie for 5,000 years, and then after they break up, his girl Cersei ends up dating Kit Harington's character in the movie. And I'm like, you know what? You know me, dude. I got a thing for Asian females, like wherever she's from. Goddamn.
You have Asian persuasion.
I could not Do you see why? Like she was like. Think of the men she pulls, like Kit Harington, Rob Stark. Like her boyfriend was Superman.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought she was pretty. I didn't think she was that pretty.
No, you don't know what you're talking about. Leave my girl
alone. You're not wrong. I just don't think that. In my opinion, I don't think she had the sex appeal that I look for. So
there's something about her. It's just like you want to be attracted to your partner and you want to stay attracted to them. And if I can just look at her and immediately feel this rush of endorphins, then I can do that every day.
Damn, that's beautiful.
That is beautiful. I said that shit so.
What the fuck?
I know, right?
That's what you look for?
Of course, because I think about it all the time.
That's gorgeous, man. I think you're going to end up with a really beautiful black woman.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, it would suck because I have members in my family who are not.
Oh, they'll say like morena and whatnot.
No, it's kind of like, well, why are you dating a black woman and not a Mexican?
Yeah.
But I don't care. You know, it's a free country.
Look, at the end of the day, you never know what you're going to fall in love with.
That's
whether
true.
It be the way they look, their skin tone, all of that.
She's gonna try
it's,
not gonna work.
yeah, I don't know.
I hate
They'll
people.
figure this out.
I know, dude. I hope you know what it is. Nobody's complained. Everybody tries to open the door.
I'm telling
nobody
you,
complains. They're
and
like,
this
oh,
is-
it's just closed. It's just locked because there's no sign.
This is why people need their self a nick in their life, because I am the one who will complain.
Yeah, guys, look, if like we were just talking about the door situation to the studio, people who walk through here, like they see that it's locked, and because they see that it's locked, nobody will ask questions about why it's locked because there are no signs on the door anywhere that say, "Oh, it's locked." It's really fucking annoying, especially if I lived here. I would obviously complain all the fucking time. Anyways, yeah, Eternals.
I have some complaints, but not fully. Yeah, but Eternals is a great movie. If you're a fan of the Marvel universe,
if you're a fan of the Marvel
you should
universe,
watch it.
keep your expectations super low because it's not a regular Marvel movie like the formula, like Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi was a
Shang-Chi was
formulaic movie.
a great
It was a
movie.
hero's journey. It was really fucking good. I really enjoyed it. It's a $1 billion movie, Shang-Chi, by the way. Even because it's a pandemic, unfortunately, not everybody went to go see it in theaters. But if
It's also the marketing. The marketing wasn't very high. I saw a couple of YouTube
clips and
commercials, clips, whatever, but it wasn't on the level of most of their marketing, at least.
It's probably
Eternals had better marketing.
It's just
That's the best way to put it.
It was just the COVID situation because Eternals was supposed to come out last year. Like a lot of things were supposed to come out last year. Everything just got pushed a year later. Shit, I don't want to talk about COVID because we could talk about it, but we'll talk about it later.
COVID is over.
It's not over because let me tell you, we're getting to the point now where I'm getting I'm so confused about the way people are acting and the behavior that people exhibit when it comes to just existing. Because I really thought we were all going to get closer together. Like somebody had compared this to 9/11. We were attacked as a nation. And, everybody for a moment was like, yeah, we're all American. When the COVID lockdown happened, I thought we were all in this together.
Yeah.
We are all Earth.
We're all in this together. One more time. Some shit like that.
And then,
yeah.
So Eternals,
I've been practicing my singing so I don't sound as bad as I once did. I hope so.
Eternals was cool. I enjoyed the hell out of it because it included 10 different characters. And when you watch a movie where there's more than 4, you expect everybody to get some screen time. And in this movie, for 2.5 hours, it's not, I think the longest. Oh, well, I think it might be longer than Endgame.
Yeah.
And unfortunately,
no, I don't think
you're wrong. Yeah, you're right. It's 3 hours.
Yeah, because Dune was 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Right. This is a very long movie, and the whole time there are the beats in the movie where it slows down, then it ramps up, it slows down. It's got some of that. Most of it for me was just trying to absorb the lore because we have 10 years worth of Marvel Cinematic Universe content to watch. Can you imagine just being born and then you turn 14 and your parents are like, hey, these movies when I was a kid were fucking cultural events of the century. Now you get to experience them. It's insane. I'm happy that Endgame and Infinity War happened before the pandemic.
Right.
Because, oh my God, would it have been a fucking disaster for them to have filmed it, for them to have made so much money, being the top grossing film in the world, right? 2.7, I think, 2.9, I think, billion.
Yeah, but Endgame throughout was, it was just a 10 out of 10.
True.
I don't think they did anything wrong in that movie.
Of course.
Whatsoever.
And because
it's actually crazy how well executed it was.
And one of the biggest problems with these kinds of movies is that they're getting more expensive to make, and they're slowly just becoming super high budget animated films. Because if you aren't familiar with the technology they use in these films, dude,
the CGI.
You cannot tell, yeah. When I first saw Endgame, there were so many things that I could not tell were CGI. I went back and watched some of the behind the scenes stuff. They were from the beginning to end, almost everything is shot on a green screen. There are barely few on real live locations because most of it was shot in Georgia. And dude, it's insane what they can do with CGI technology, special effects technology.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then
I mean, look at Google AI. Like they're literally recreating
right.
historical
I've seen that.
platforms.
I've seen
like
that.
that's crazy,
Oh no,
dude.
dude! Well, we're getting to the point where like you'll be able to walk into a room. Like I'm sure Google's gonna build this room. It's gonna be called a dream room. I think they've already figured it out. But it's gonna be a combination of our augmented reality, right? Where you put something, you'll put a set of shades, and everything will be. Things will just
It'll look like you're in a video game.
It'll look like you're in a video game, but and things will just form like out of matter, like out of nothing.
Yeah.
And kind of like in that
crazy.
movie with Iron
Free
Man.
guy.
That one too. In the movie Iron Man 3 or 2.
I don't
It was
remember what
Iron
scene
Man
you're referring
2.
to be honest.
It's in the beginning of the movie, I think. Oh, fuck. Is it the third one or the second one? It's the second one. He developed this technology where you can go back and visit your memories, and the memories are holographically brought to life in like augmented reality, so that you can deal with trauma and stuff. We're getting to the point where we'll be able to do things like that through physical therapy. Like we can already do that with enough dosage of shrooms, but unless you're willing to jump into the deep end, I would recommend taking it easy. But yeah, no, like the technology for these kinds of special effects, these Marvel movies, just like in my opinion, I respect them for that. Even if you're not a fan of them, like you don't enjoy like you think like this shit is for children, or they're just like these CGI movies. Like yeah, they are these high budget CGI movies, but it's the amount of work that goes into them that I appreciate, because
I agree with
like
that.
as much as I didn't enjoy Chloe Zhao's Eternals, I enjoyed it because
the visuals
were
crazy.
good. Her attempt at trying to juggle 10 characters, like how do you give enough people screen time to actually want to, relate to them? And how do you make superpowered beings relatable when they can't die? Well, I mean, they could die, they could bleed.
Yeah.
Like they did all that stuff. That was one of the biggest criticisms, is like, how do you relate to fucking Icarus if that dude is like almost invulnerable? And they had some of the best fight scenes. Like, they did like a light version of the Justice League where they all got down with Superman. I love that.
Yeah,
like
that was good.
Yeah, that was really
I
good.
agree.
Yeah. Anything else you really enjoyed about the movie that you want to talk about?
I think
would you watch it again? Actually, it's a rewatchable.
Yeah,
movie?
it's a rewatchable movie. Yeah, I mean, like I said, you have to take the good and the bad, because there is bad for sure. I don't necessarily agree with you. I don't think it's a 5 out of 10. I'd probably give it 8 out of 10.
That's very generous.
I mean, everyone has a different opinion at the end of the day, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
that's just the bottom line.
You're on the side of the audience, because the critics did not enjoy this movie at all. Like the Rotten Tomato score is rotten. It's more rotten than the MCU film Thor: The Dark World, which is the lowest. Well, not anymore. But the audience seemed to have loved this movie, Eternals.
I also feel like there's a part of it as well, which my brother, said that if you haven't read the comics behind the Eternals, you're not going to really understand it as much.
The one counterpoint to that I would say is that, as someone who doesn't read the comics, should you be able to go watch these movies and enjoy them?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And you can enjoy it, but you don't relate to it on a sentimental level if you haven't read the comics.
That's probably why the audience loved it so much, because people who are very familiar with the lore understand what's going on. For me, I bet there are going to be things that are going to be explained later that connect to this. I'm going to say that I'm not the biggest fan of that, because I'm a big lore guy, and usually I like connecting dots. But if they're gonna, if that is the case, where like things that were set up here won't be paid off for another 5 years, I don't have a big issue with that, because then you go back.
You can't have a big issue with that. You've watched One Piece.
Exactly, because then you go
One Piece is literally that.
True, 20 years. Because then you go back and then you appreciate what you once thought was not very good.
As long as it's explained well.
Right.
That's the other thing. It also has to... it has to be that moment where it clicks and you're like, oh my God, I remember that from that.
Yeah, and it all kind of ties together, which is something that I feel like this movie kind of lacked, because this movie takes place from the beginning of Earth to the present day. And this is a very self-contained story because in the cosmic scheme of things, there are like levels to this, right? There are the very street level gangs, then there are the like cosmic fucking events, and then there are these Endgame level events where you've got the movie Endgame where they had all these characters get together and fight.
The one thing I really did love, and it kind of brought a sense of humanity to me, was at the end of the film how literally no one moved out of their seat because they knew there was still cutscenes to come.
Oh right, the after credit
that was
scenes.
Just great. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, we're all here to experience this. And it's happened so many times with these Marvel movies now that it's a given. Like, you have to sit and stay.
Yeah,
but it was just crazy to me that literally no one got up, and it was quite late. It was quite late at the time.
Oh yeah, it was already 11:30.
11, yeah, around there.
We
And
started at 10. I mean at 8:30. The movie fucking had 20 minutes of ads and shit. Like, I literally got there late, and I still showed up right
on time, pretty much.
Yeah, it was insane.
And I don't know. It was also really interesting to see. Do you remember there was an old couple? They were maybe like 70, 80
in front of us.
That were right in front of us, and they loved the movie. Like, they were laughing their ass off. They were just into it, and I was thinking, like, wow, they gave this universe a shot at that age. That's quite cool.
They've probably been following it for a long time.
Young in the mind.
That's cool that they're big fans of that. Like, the film will have issues playing around the world due to the fact that it does have an openly gay relationship. They have a gay kiss in there.
Right. That's very true.
Those things just won't fly in certain countries, so that's unfortunate because, like,
especially with the Middle Eastern man being part of the gay relationship.
Middle Eastern guy?
Yeah.
Camille Nanjiani? No, he's not. No, who are you talking about? No, that was Fastos.
The African American.
The African American.
His brother, or not brother, his husband. He's not gay?
No, they were gay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he was Middle Eastern American.
He was Moroccan or something? No, that was not. I'm stupid. See,
I don't want to, you know what I mean?
See, we don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
I don't want to.
Misgender? No, not misgender. Mischaracterize? No. Misidentify? Maybe.
Misidentify, I guess, yeah. I just don't want to, be like that stereotype, but I believe that he was Middle Eastern.
Oh, yeah, he did look ish. Yeah, no, he looked like Jason Derulo. Lighter skin. Kind of. Yeah, no, there was some,
kind of.
Yeah.
Kinda.
I was just so surprised they had a sex scene. I was so thrown away. I was thrown back. I was like, whoa. It was not even it was like they were just laying on top of each other naked. And they were using natural lighting.
There was a sex scene?
Yeah, it happened so fast. Usually how sex scenes happen fast.
Yeah.
And it was just a quick. It was really nice though, because it does set up the fact that they are madly in love with each other, like that they want each other, right? Like, he looks at her and he gets them endorphins like just running through his body. But besides that, yeah, it was a cool movie. I'll watch it again. I'll be honest when it hits Disney Plus, because it's Disney Plus. It's slowly growing to be like one of my favorite platforms because they do have some of my favorite franchises on there. Star Wars, fucking Marvel and shit, and like, I'm really into that kind of stuff.
Speaking of favorite things, one of in the not necessarily anymore, but past couple of years, probably when I was in high school, maybe a little bit after high school, this artist Travis Scott. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, so we're gonna jump into that, right? We all know what happened. Fucking, he
If you don't know,
he decided to sacrifice 8 people.
Possibly.
It's no joke, to be honest with you. Like, I want to make a joke. I want to make a bunch of jokes. Like,
I don't think there is anything that
want to make a bunch
that
of
you
jokes.
can joke about. Not because, like, I mean, obviously, everyone has their own say. There is a possibility that it was a ritual sacrifice. There's a possibility. There always is.
Before we get into the conspiratorial stuff, let's step away from that and let's talk about some of the serious stuff.
Okay. Fair
enough. First, we'll talk about what happened, and then we can fuck around, right?
Yeah.
All right. So look, Travis Scott had a concert.
He did.
And he's been known to encourage his fans.
He had a concert that showed a bunch of some of the most famous artists right now. Bad Bunny
I
was
wasn't
there.
familiar with the lineup. I thought it was just his concert.
No, it was multiple
multiple
people. It was
things?
Drake, Bad Bunny.
Oh,
like
shit.
it's something that you would want to go
Oh, so it's like
to.
a pure headlining concert.
Pure headline.
Okay, so basically, I mean, I'm sure you already heard about it. You know what happened. You're only going to hear our opinion on regarding him on that disaster. It sucks because, I've been to many festivals before like that. And
Not to that degree.
Not to that degree, but like the amount of like, I get it. It's a bunch of kids who have not been out, and maybe this is their first time going to an outdoor concert. Like I don't blame them for wanting to have an experience.
The other thing is, it wasn't just kids. The concert itself was a all age festival,
and it sucks because young people, they, some of them lost their lives, and some of them thought they weren't gonna come back that day. Like, there's nothing okay.
Yeah, rest in peace,
there's nothing
man.
okay about setting up an event and knowing that there are these kinds of risks and doing nothing about it, because apparently this is not the first time where they've had incidents of people storming the barricades, pushing, crowding to the point of asphyxiation, where you just don't have enough room to breathe, right? It's not even that you can't breathe, you just don't have the space to inhale and exhale. It's insane.
Lungs.
I can't imagine being crushed to death. It's so horrific. Just thinking about it kind of gives me chills, because I would hate to go out like that. It's one thing to die from COVID, and it's another to die from being at a concert. I'm already paranoid about being shot up at a mass shooting in a concert or some bullshit like that.
Yeah, it's
in the back of your head, you're like, some idiot is just gonna start doing some dumb shit.
Yeah,
and that's the least of my paranoia. There's reports of people.
It is crazy though now that when you go out, right, to anywhere, if it's anywhere you go, you have to really pay attention
Here in
to
LA,
your surroundings.
You feel like someone's gonna stab you right away. Someone's gonna fucking pull a gun on you or rob you.
I'm not to say that hasn't, you haven't always paid attention to your surroundings, but if you go to a bar and the first thing you think about is, where are my exits in case something pops off, like that, there's something wrong with that.
I don't know. Hold on. I want to touch on that. But look, there's reports that people were being indiscriminately drugged.
Yeah.
That with a needle, somebody was injecting people.
Right.
Many people fell unconscious during the concert. Travis was aware that this was happening.
And that's the biggest thing, right? Is if your crew or your team tells you, hey, we have multiple casual reports. Causal? What is
Casualties.
it? Casualties, yeah, casualties. We have reports of that, and you don't stop a concert. There's something to be said about that,
You know what?
And I get it. He said, oh, I'm gonna end up paying for the funerals for the deceased, but
that doesn't mean shit.
No, but check this out. So the organization that he partnered with, it has in the contract, if you agree to accept this
liability,
the money for the funeral, it has in the contract that you could not sue Travis Scott for all of that.
That makes sense, yeah.
So it's brilliant in a sense because it makes him look so smart, where it gives him, that leeway.
Let me stop you right there. I don't want you defending Travis Scott.
No. I'm just listen. I'm just saying, it makes it look smart because it makes it look like he really cares about his fans and all that. But also you have that in it, and then the free help, right? It just should
never have happened in the first place.
Trauma therapy, something like that.
No, dude, this could have been avoided, man. He pisses me off because
it could have. 100%.
I used to be one of those young people, not the fucking rowdy ones, but going to these things, you want to have a good time. Don't make it a fucking issue for other people there. Because let me tell you something. Don't be that person who decides to get too Look, I know it happens. People get too fucked up, dehydration. It happens. Like you know, you need some help. That's what emergency services are there for. But in these videos, emergency services could not get to any other people. They were like crowd surfing unconscious bodies. You know, it's like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
that makes no sense.
It does not make me feel safe if I know. And you know what? I don't. You know, it's not. I don't want to say all of it is on Travis, but his team, the people who helped organize this, because apparently the police chief of that town was like, hey man, like, you know, we know you have a history of like routing the crowd.
Yeah.
And he's had tweets. You know, he did the Trump thing where he encouraged people to be rowdy. You know, he's since then deleted the tweet. But it does bother me because, you know, I would have brushed it off as like, oh, it's another damning concert accident. But when you look at the videos and you see that people are just being negligent, like straight up just like ignoring and I get it. Sometimes you're just like minding your own fucking business. But
yeah, but that is, what is it, the bystander effect?
Exactly.
That's the bystander effect. But you, like, you have to be the person. There always has to be someone, right? The squeaky weasel. Hey, someone is literally weasel. No, but I'm just saying, like in general, like someone needs to be yelling or saying, like, to tell people that at the end of the day, there's someone literally dying right here, and we need help.
Yeah, no, and
it can't be like, okay, crowd, let's crowd surf him back. Like, everyone, in my opinion. And this is a real rough opinion because you're not going to agree with it, but everyone who was around those people who were dehydrated and saw people getting trampled, all that, like, they're all at fault. Yeah. Every single one of them. Travis is obviously the biggest one at fault because he knew what was going on, and he should have. He 100% should have just stopped the concert. Everybody stop fucking moving, move to the side. It's like a siren. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. A siren. When a fucking siren happens and you're driving, you move to the right. It's just as simple as that.
There's a video of an ambulance trying to get through the crowd, and you can see everyone is clearly looking at it. Dude, it's weird. I mean, it's been a couple. It was Friday, so it was almost a week ago.
Yeah.
But it's just as new details arise, it's like, you know, this negligence. I get it. You know, people have been cooped up. There has been nothing to do. And it's just like you see the amount of people. And again, you know, I make this point all the time, guys. People wear masks. People are like trying to be safe. But you look at these concerts and they're cuddled to the point where they can't move their arms. Like the moment your arms are up,
like packed like they're sardines in there. It's messed up.
What is happening? Are you guys okay? Like, please breathe, because I get that you want to go out, you want to do crazy shit, you have a little bit of money saved up, and the economy isn't working properly. Like, you're trying to go do shit, you're trying to go to your yoga class, you're trying to do your regular thing, but they're asking you to, like, be fucking, you know, wear a hazmat suit, and then, like, make sure you don't do this, you don't do that, and then, like, you go to these Travis Scott concerts, and it's like you don't have to wear a mask if you want to choose to, like, fucking get choked out or whatever. Now we can make jokes
it's also,
if you want.
It's unfortunate because there's so many things that just could have been avoided, you know,
like,
and
it sucks.
Like,
because
there was just no decency, because someone obviously is yelling like, yo, I can't fucking breathe. And
nobody is doing anything.
And nobody's doing anything. And then on top of that, like, if he touches someone and pushes them out the way, just like get a little bit, he or she, to get a little bit of air.
Yo, if you listen to
it's his problem now. Like, it's so fucked up that it's like that. And I say this because I'm a very skinny guy, and I'm not macho by any means, but more than likely, if I was in that situation, I would have been the person who died. But also on top of that, like, I am the person, when someone doesn't move out the fucking way, I move them.
No, I was gonna say,
myself.
I would have started.
I always start
imagine
moving
you're with
people,
your significant other, and you just see people tumbling towards you.
Yeah.
No, I'm swinging. I don't give a fuck, because, like, in a survival mode, you're gonna make sure you don't fucking die. And I get it. Like,
you know what's also wild is, like, you know what a mosh pit is, right?
Of course.
And you've seen them, how they navigate.
They're more organized.
This is my point,
What
right?
the fuck?
So he could have and he loves mosh pits. He could have just said, "Yo, everybody mosh," and everybody just fucking makes a room. They make space.
It turned bad because the videos I saw, people were just started storming through the front gates.
I saw that
one. They just started
but they also got pushed back.
They tried to, but it.
Well, no, they did push.
What's crazy?
I haven't seen all of the videos, but for certain videos, I saw them get pushed back. 100%.
How the fuck did they not be like, you know what, we're postponing this because people are breaking the rule? They immediately broke almost all the rules the moment they started flooding the fucking place. Like,
and the other thing too, right, is there's that concept where it's like, well, they can't stop all of us, and
oh my god,
you're not wrong, they can't, but these are the repercussions behind what happens when you don't follow rules.
Bunch of fucking children, just like, I get it, you know.
It's aggravation.
I used to be a fucking child.
You know, it's aggravation. It's hormones. There's a bunch of things. You're excited. All of it. I understand that, but man, there's got to be something said when you see and you hear an ambulance and you don't move the fuck out the way.
Shit.
Like, what
it might have been the case
that
they couldn't even fucking move, because in the videos you're like, you're just like, how do you enjoy this concert?
Yeah.
Like, okay, here's another thing too, because I've been to many concerts in my young adulthood life.
Yeah.
And as I get older, one thing I've learned is like, if you're not in the front, who gives a like, you're just gonna be listening to music. Right. From the back, because like, don't get me wrong, like going to these concerts, it's an event.
And if you are in the front, if you ever go to a concert and you are in the front, make sure to understand that there are things that happen when you're in the front. You know what I mean? Like, you will get pushed in.
Yeah.
So be prepared for that. Have water on you. Have the backpack. Be
prepared.
That everyone has. Just, I'm not saying that these kids weren't prepared. That's clearly
they weren't
not
prepared
the
to die,
case.
for sure. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, nobody was prepared to die. But it's such a sad thing, especially with the holidays coming up. You think about these families, and you know, a mother and a father they're not going to get to see their child come home. They probably thought they were going to be safe. It's an all age. That's the other thing. It was an all age thing, and I don't know if you saw, but there was a 9-year-old that also. I don't remember if it was a casualty or if they're just in so much trauma because of the lack of oxygen that their brain has super permanent damage. Like, it's
the lack of oxygen, asphyxiation,
fucked up, man.
Yeah, no, a lot of people.
All because people just wanted to go out and enjoy themselves.
No, it was just because people were listening to Travis Scott's like antics and stuff.
It's crazy to me that it just, so many things could have been avoided. There's so many things that went wrong, and you know, the main issue is that reports come out, you know, that Travis knew that this was going on and he didn't stop. And you can't defend anyone in that case, because if I hear, look, there's casualties, and I understand what casualty. Maybe he's so dumb he doesn't even understand what a casualty is. Maybe that's what it is.
No, he's black. He knows what it is. Nah, but look, anyways, we can we can kind of like,
I think there's just been a lot of really tough, I mean, obviously people die every day, and
but in situations like,
nobody expects that to happen.
You think like it's I don't know, like it just seems to me like it fell out of hand and it could have been prevented, because you know, I've been at these concerts, you know, you're surrounded by tons of people, and you know, you expect everyone there to be there to enjoy the event. You don't expect people to be there to run you over and like not give a
nobody's saying you have to be on your best behavior, but be a human.
Yeah,
when it comes to
like don't think, you know, think twice about like wanting to get fucked up and going to the concert. Like, are you really gonna enjoy it? If you're fucked up, I get it. You're like, oh, let me eat like 5 edibles before I go. Like, go for it if you can handle it. But if you can't,
also understand what your body can handle.
Yeah.
Make sure, obviously, these are tips that any festival, any music thing you go to, you should always make sure that you're well fed, that you're hydrated.
Yes. Take into consideration that it's going to be an all-day thing.
It's an all-day
like
thing.
If you're normally casually working out or used to being on your feet all day, not that not that might be the case, because you can obviously sit down at the show, but you know, just be aware.
You can semi-sit down. You might have to worry about someone trying to walk into you now. It's
and you don't want.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you just don't want to be the guy I'm not saying, you're gonna be that guy who
It's a shame because
or
when I mean Travis is he's rowdy, like he gets a pumping, you know what I mean? The music is good. Like his music is good, so I can understand the excitement. But my God, man, there's got to be something said when you just hear, hey, we have casualties and
and multiple people
injured as well. Yeah, exactly. And you just go, okay, well, fuck it. Throw your middle fingers up because those people couldn't get through.
Yeah, or like or shout out to them, rest in peace.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? So then, obviously, here's where the conspiracies come in, where he might be a demon walking on Earth.
You know what? It's been I was listening to somebody else explain this.
Yeah.
I agree with them because it's been a long time that I've heard. Because I used to go down these rabbit holes all the time when I was a teenager, and I'm so happy that I'm not there anymore. Because I hear these things about it's some satanic demonic ritual, and I get it. It's easy to because the symbolisms, are easy to attribute to the things that have existed in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And I remind myself that the people who drew up these symbolistic things, they didn't live in the 21st century where we have all this access to information and legitimate epistemology where things are backed up by facts, and there's meaning behind certain things. Travis seems to have a lot of satanic and demonic ritual symbolism, but you look at Lil Nas, the dude was having sex with the devil in his music video,
right,
and nobody really gives a shit because nobody died. But the moment you see, you hear about.
Well, I think it's just more of the conspiracy that, obviously the Illuminati and the devil worshippers and all that. But little by little, we are seeing these music videos of these little symbolisms that are happening a lot more frequently than we thought. So then we're going, okay,
does it mean anything?
Does it mean anything? And the other thing, right, the biggest coincidence, if it is a coincidence, and this is where the theory comes in, is that when the fire went up on Travis Scott's stage, there was 8 fires that went 1, 2, 3, 4, other side 4, right? Not just 4 straight, but 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 deaths, 8 fires. That's a really weird coincidence. And then obviously the symbolism Aztecs,
and they would all gather in a concert type setting.
Yeah,
and they would all watch a priest religiously, cut the heart out of people.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, it was a ritualistic thing. The idea was that, you don't kill people just to kill them. We're doing this to please the gods.
Right.
Their idea of shedding blood was sacred.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bringing that up because, if you want to attribute what Travis, to have my
may have sacrificed or may have not type of thing.
To be honest with you, none of that is to me. I don't believe it. It's too far fetched. If it were the case that he was a demon sacrificing people, there would be a much easier way to do it than inviting a bunch of people to die at your concert. I don't know. Travis Scott, I don't know how the fuck he's so popular. I remember when he was blowing up.
His music is good. His music is good. His sense of fashion is good. He has a strain on this new generation because, like I said, his music is really good. When I first listened to Travis Scott, I was like, okay, I'm a fan. And thankfully, for whatever reason, my ears just stopped enjoying his music after a while. And I think just because it was telling me hey, this is not good anymore.
No, it was telling you hey, grab the knife. Slit your wrist.
It's a possibility. I mean, I'm not going to say it like that, but I think it does.
Your family.
I don't want to be that person that says certain things attribute to more aggression, but studies do kind of show that when you play certain video games or when you listen to certain music and you see the portrayal that they're trying to give off, you emulate it. So maybe these kids are fucking angry people.
No,
I don't know,
it was
man.
just unfortunate what happened. It really sucks. Like,
But this is what I'm saying, right? Is how he encouraged them to, engage in that activity. That's like they were like, yo, screw it. Like, I'm going to emulate. This is going to be a fire video on YouTube because everything is recorded nowadays and it gets put up on YouTube and people go back and watch it. Every festival. This isn't just this festival.
festivals are not what they used to be, people. Nothing will be the same since this thing started, since this pandemic. Nothing will be
Yeah,
the
I agree
same.
with that.
We will not ever see, like, it's nice to see, like, sporting events and stuff, like, packed to the brim, but we will never get away. You know what? I'm saying never, and nothing is never at 100%. But I'll for sure say that, like, it's going to be a couple generations before this idea of, like, weaning away from, like, this hypocrisy of, like, oh, you gotta wear a mask and you have to be vaccinated. Oh, well, now vaccines have, like, they show that the effects wear off after, I don't know, a certain amount of time. So boosters are, like, necessary, and then you're gonna have to prove.
I mean, that was one of the. I disagree with you there because from the beginning they kind of said that. That you could have the vaccine, but you would still need a booster at some point, just because of the fact that
they were floating the idea right at the time, because they were like, who knows how many shots you're gonna need. They're like, is it gonna be 2 plus a booster or one every year, like a flu shot?
That's what I'm saying, right? Like, it's really not that fucking different, and I don't understand why people get so frustrated about this booster shot because, I mean, me personally, I'm very rarely ever sick, and I don't get a flu shot every year. I'll be completely honest, but there are fucking millions of people who do get a flu shot every year.
Yeah, and
what's the difference between getting a fucking booster?
Well, the difference is that the flu shots have been around longer than the vaccine, and they don't even call them vaccines anymore. They call them gene therapy.
Right, but can't you say that the same shit happened when people were getting the first flu shots? They were like, well, why do we need to keep getting it every year?
Yeah, I would also have been questioning the reasoning why we have to get one every year. Yeah, I'm a little confused as to why, the media or, like, the messaging hasn't been more clear. Like, they're telling us that we may have to, like, be careful for the holidays. Like, after what's been happening, like, I don't think people really give a fuck, about wanting to see their family, or if it's like the people who are real anal about it, they'll Zoom their family. But other people, they don't. We're not there. We're not at that stage anymore.
But the other thing to that, unfortunately, right, is that certain people are very anal about this whole having to be 6 feet apart and following all of this.
I have to use the restroom so badly. Can you handle this?
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
I
to
got
this
it.
one right here real quick, okay?
Yeah, you're good. Just make sure that you put a DVD at the door. Remember.
I'm just gonna close it.
All right.
I'll put the DVD. Try to pick it up.
Yeah. So, anyways, I think that people are very anal about this because of the fact that they or someone they know that's close to them has met someone who either got COVID and still hasn't recovered from the side effects, whether that be losing their taste or their sense of smell, and other people who have gotten the real long-term detrimental effects that really they feel that their oxygen has never fully recovered due to the fact that their lungs are a little bit destroyed. And it's really sad in a sense because you think of it and you just don't understand why. I mean, obviously why, COVID happened, but also how it's so deadly. It's just crazy because we've heard for so many years with cancer and smoking cigarettes that it destroys your alveoli and, eventually makes your lungs black, and then, you pretty much die, unfortunately. Or, the majority of the time people die. But we also understand the risks that come with that, right? And so when it comes to the vaccine, and getting the vaccine, we also understand the risk. And, you know, everyone has their own opinion on it, and you're able to have your own opinion on it. But it is kind of scary when you think about it, because you think, man, I don't want to die. Nobody wants to die. But if I don't get this thing, I have the possibility of dying. And if I do get the thing, I still have the possibility of dying, right? You always have a possibility of piecing out in this world at any moment. But wouldn't you think that it would be easier to just... It seems like people just accept that in a sense. They're like, you know, I didn't get a vaccine, I'm just going to die. It's cool. If it happens, it happens, right? So I understand that, but you also don't know how badly it would affect you until you have it. And if you're healthy, you know, if the virus is mutated and now it's much stronger than it once was, it's just crazy. With that being said, I think everyone should have a wonderful holiday. And if you get to see your family and, you know, enjoy your loved ones, enjoy that. Remember, no politics. Nobody wants to talk about politics. Just talk about being together and enjoying the moment, eating good food, having a very lovely time with being in the same vicinity as people that you were not able to be in the same vicinity as 2 years ago. Yeah. This was episode number 26 or 28. I believe it's 28. I don't know why the hell I have 26. But anyways, peace out, everyone. Have a wonderful holiday. Thank you for watching us as always. Peace.